chance to talk to you today. When I look at our nation, I see great potential. I see vigor, passion, and drive in your eyes. But I am saddened by the lack of empathy some of our people have towards each other and towards our environment. We need to change our attitude, we need to change our perspectives, and we need to change our president. Let me explain to you how I craft my opinions. Envision a world from 10,000 miles away. Zoom out for a second. What issues seem important from this view? 3 glaring problems leap forward: our lack of care for the environment, our lack of care for the underprivileged, and our egocentric foreign policy. First, our environment is gradually crumbling. We are the cause. Some may say this is alarmist, but think of all the people that have made great change in history. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela. Sometimes the world needs someone passionate to make change happen. The sense of beauty and wonder the natural spaces on this planet give me are indescribable. The lush tropical rainforests, towering mountains with their resolute peaks, majestic polar biomes blanketed in snow, and the dawn chorus of birdsong in the spring. I feel a deep moral obligation to preserve these spaces so that my descendants and your descendants can have a peaceful, safe, and healthy world to enjoy. I strongly believe this. But for those of you who do not feel the same burning obligation to preserve the environment as I do, I will provide a barrage of facts to support environmentalism. The United States of America makes up less than 5% of the population on Earth, yet we consume over 30% of its resources. We dump 16 tons of sewage into our waters every single minute. 14 billion pounds of garbage are dumped into the oceans every single year. The world has already lost 80% of its forests, and we're continually losing them at a rate of 375 square kilometers per day. The rapid loss of species we are currently seeing is estimated by experts to be between 1,000 and 10,000 times higher than the natural extinction rate. An example of this is that 95 of the 142 known bird species on the Hawaiian Islands have gone extinct since humans arrived. But I'm not here to sadden you all. I'm here to inspire you to take action. Vote for me, and I will work tirelessly to change our laws, policies, regulations, and education to fight for the survival of our environment. The second issue that jumps out at me from 10,000 miles away is our lack of support for the underprivileged. According to the UN, 19 million people in America live in deep poverty. Deep poverty is when a family's total income is half of the poverty threshold. That number is egregiously high. The selfishness of the upper and middle class should not deny a starving person their meal or a mentally disabled person their medical aid. If elected president, I will create sensible tax reform and add to the already effective Affordable Care Act to help our fellow Omaricans that are suffering in the quicksand of impoverishment. And finally, I strongly agree that America has no right to look from a distance as innocent people in struggling countries are slaughtered and humiliated by the chains of corruption and terrorism. We have the power to promote freedom and democracy through peace talks, treaties, and diplomacy. While some of you may disagree, I hope that you can find the compassion in your hearts towards families that are hopeless and living in constant fear. It's time to put aside our differences. It's time to stop glorifying ruinous weaponry. It's time to stop endangering any more lives of soldiers than is absolutely necessary, and it's time to fight with diplomacy. I will protect the environment. I will ensure Omaricans don't go hungry. I will secure sensible health care for everyone. I will revitalize education. I will bolster meaningful relationships with foreign countries. We can fix the problems that plague our nation and our world. We can make change happen right here, right now. We can do this together.